We will now be moving on to our next speaker, who will be Laila Abdullah Al-Hadrami, Smart Cities Development Manager for National Energy Center, who will be speaking about building our smart cities with smart solutions.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully that you are not feeling sleepy now, because I know you might be feeling hungry, weak, and so on, but hopefully that I'm not going to be very long. If I'm really long and boring, please say stop. So today I'm really going to speak about one of the interesting topics, which is about smart cities. And everyone is asking about what are the smart cities? Do we have actually smart cities, or we have a stupid cities? This is one of the questions that's always, asked to me. Do we really have a smart cities? So let me take you today in a journey, so we can speak about smart cities. Okay. Oops. Can we move to the next? Okay, so if we want to define the smart cities, what do we mean by smart cities? Do we really have smart cities? If we are going to define the smart cities, it is our cities that we are living on it. It's your city, it's all our cities. But we need to make it smarter. Why we need to make it smarter? We need to live on it peacefully and happily. And when I say happily, I am as a citizen. I have the right to feel that I'm really happy and have a quality of life so I can live in this city. Ask yourself, if I'm living in this city, how many years I'm going to live on it? Each one of you ask that question. Am I going to live in this city for a long time, or I'm going to move soon because I'm getting tired from the traffic pollution and the noise, and sometimes there's some crimes happened. So these challenges are making us to not feel happy, not feel stable. So when we say sustainability, it's about how long you are going to live in your cities. In the past, people used, for example, to migrate from their towns. For example, we used to have Muscat as the capital town. I'm from Nizwa. People used, for example, to move from Nizwa going to Muscat. Why? So they can find some basic services like hospitals, education, jobs. So nowadays, you can see, the population is increasing in these cities. And we need to provide the basic services in our own cities. So when we started having, the increasement, the pollution, we started having these challenges, We having, the pollution, we have, the traffic. Every day you are driving, you are just, getting annoyed. You say, when we are going to drive with no traffic, right? So you are always saying, we need to drive peacefully, feeling happy that I'm going to work. So then we need the technology to solve these issues and challenges in our cities. So you can see it is our own cities, but then we have to use some technologies so we can overcome the challenges. Okay, can we go back a little bit? Yes. So why smart cities in Oman? As I said, because we need to improve the quality of life. Each one of us, we need to go back to our city, and we said we need that quality of life in our cities. And I can say that I'm really so much happy that in Oman, we started the concept of smart cities since 2017. We started with Smart City Platform, and at that time, everyone was asking, we are done with knowledge. And I'm always saying, the knowledge is the most powerful weapon, because exactly, we started with the knowledge. When we started the knowledge at that time, we wanted everyone to speak the same language. Why we wanted everyone to speak the same language? Because if you are going to say smart cities, emerging technologies, everyone you heard today, AI, data, and so on. If the community is not part of this journey, they will not be part of these smart cities. They will not, the employees in the organization, they are not going to improve the services. So we wanted to have that pressure with everyone. That is, when we started that journey in 2017, we wanted everyone to start speaking about smart cities. And today, we have that pressure. Why? Now, every organization, every city, and it's becoming also part of Oman 2040 vision, it's a must for every city around Oman, every governor, they have to lead their cities to be smarter. So that's how we're gonna have it in Oman. Everyone is going to work closely with the government. I'm really so much proud to have some of the smart city ambassadors that we have, launched in Smart City Platform. We have Dr. Sultan, Dr. Salom. So all of them, they were part of that journey. So thank you so much because you were, part of that journey and you succeeded. And nowadays, everyone, they said, we want to be smarter. Everyone now is speaking about smartness. Everyone now thinking smarter. Even when we have Shaheen cyclone, we used to just to complain and so on. But now people, they say, how can we use the technology so we can predict when it comes to the cyclones, so we can save lives and so on. So this is when we say about why we need smart cities in Oman. So I worked around 15 years in the government, and recently I just moved to the private sector, to NEC, so I can lead some of the smart city projects in Oman. And we started as a startup. Can we move to the next, please? Yes. To the next also? Yes. So we started, NEC, everyone is asking about NEC. What is NEC? If you are so much passionate to have your own startup, I can tell you a very good news. NEC started as a startup. It was founded by Engineer Abdullah in 2012. He graduated as electricity engineer, and he said, we need to find a smart solutions for electricity. So I'm sure that I have some people here from the electricity sector who can, say, okay, this is really great news. So he started with thinking about the smart solutions when it comes to the electricity, and that is how it really started. And in 2015, it becomes very successful that it became a semi-government. A semi-government, and when they started, they said, we cannot start smart sensors without the connectivity. Do you have anyone here from Ooredoo? Great. Because we said in order to have our own infrastructure, because you cannot say, I'm going to be smart and there is no infrastructure. So we decided to collaborate with Ooredoo with the connectivity. I remember, the first time when I heard about LoRa. By the way, do you know what is LoRa? Okay, this is really good. Not a lot knows about LoRa. The first time I heard about LoRa, I was attending a meeting, and they said, Laura, and Laura, I said, oh my goodness, who's Laura? I said, okay, Laura. I thought she's a female, a woman, and so on. Laura is the name of the connectivity, that we are using here in Oman with Ooredoo. So we started the infrastructure, because when we speak about the connectivity, we cannot use, our own sensors with the connectivity that we use in our mobiles or our laptops. So we should have another infrastructure for these kind of IoT sensors. So that's how we really started, collaborating with Ooredoo in 2018, and from there, we expanded. So we started first with the smart meters, and as soon as we start with the smart meters, we started first with Musandam, and then we moved to Muscat, and now we are expanding. And when I say expanding, yes, we start with the smart meters, the smart utilities that we needed as a citizens. I am as a citizen, I need the basic services in my own home. Go back to your home and check, do you have the smart meter or the manual one? So we have some, so that's why I say we are now expanding, we are going for different models to the smart environment solutions, and I'm going to speak more about these solutions in the coming slides. One of the things that I'm really proud to say about, when it comes to the smart cities projects, it's everywhere. Everybody is complaining about the funding. Government is always not ready to pay. They will say, we cannot take the risk. It's everywhere. So we approached the government and we said, we have our own funding model. So we use boot model so we can build, operate, and then we transfer the full project to that organization or to that company. So that's how we are working closely with the government and the service providers. We said, we will take the risk and build it by ourselves, and then after 5 to 10 years, according to the contract, we will return it back to you. So this is one of the successful models that work around the world in order to succeed the smart city projects. So don't worry about, when it comes to that funding model, because I'm sure that everyone has that challenge. You will say, my company is not ready to go to that technology, so we are ready to take the risk as a private sector. So when it comes to the smart transformation journey, as I said, when we started with our IoT sensors, we have the infrastructure with the connectivity, then we go to our own dashboards. So imagine the number of data that we are getting in our own dashboards. Every 15 minutes, we get data to our own dashboards. Then we can, analyze this data by using the AI and the machine learning. So this is exactly the smart transformation journey. And we use also the cloud, as Mr. Hassan Ali said, that everyone now is going for the cloud. So this is how it's really going to work with us. So this is, a snapshot of our dashboards, how we are going to use it. And we have, by the way, 2 dashboards. We are still using the, the manual reading that comes to the smart metering with the, with the water and electricity, but we are trying at least to use these dashboards. So as soon as I joined NEC, there were 2 terms I heard about it, AMR and MMR. And everyone was, saying about these 2 terms. And I say, oh my goodness, I came from government, and these technical words, it's really new for me. What are these 2 words? For that reason, I decided to not write it for you, so you can know what are these exactly. The MMR is the manual metering reader. And I'm sure the people in electricity, as Dr. Sultan is now laughing, he knows what these terms, what I mean about it. And the AMR, automated metering reader. So you can see the verse, the automated versus the manual. In the past, and it's not in the past, we are still having it, because some houses still have the manual reading. How many of you traveled and you came back and you found out that your bill is the same like last month, and you go and shout at them, feeling not happy about it? How many of you? Raise your hand.
Well, if it was like last month, you are happy.
Yeah, but so it's still, that, why? Because, if you are traveling, sometimes, somebody has to come to your home to do the reading, if you have the manual reading. In case, your manual reading is inside and your door is locked. Some houses are still. And I can show you, come and visit us, and I can show you in our dashboards. It's yes, some of them they are in Muscat. I will show you. We have different electricity distribution, yeah. Dr. Jamil, we can talk later on. So why we need to go, all of us, to the smart metering? Because we need to make people happy. We need people to say, okay, this is the real consumption of my bills is not predicted from the company providers and so on. So this is, a brief about, what is the difference between AMR and MMR. And in our dashboards, we have, for example, different, specifications. And we have, one of them is locked doors, for example. Some work fields, they go and they said, okay, we couldn't read the meter of this house because it's locked. So you can visit us and we can show you the dashboards that we have it. So this is some of the achievements that we have achieved with the AMR achievement. We have around 300K smart metering now in Muscat. And we have deployed around 17K prepaid meters in the field and installed 97 gateways of LoRa. And you can ask Ooredoo people about LoRa more. So you cannot make it difficult for me. Okay, so these are some of the other achievements. Let's go to the next. And you can see we just started in Musandam, then we moved to Muscat, and we are planning to move to the next areas in Oman, inshallah, hopefully. Okay, to the next. Next, okay. I always love to, mention innovation. So when it comes to the innovation, as I said, when we start with the smart metering, now we are expanding our project. So recently we have, signed different POCs and MOUs with different organizations. I'm really proud to say that, we have, signed also with Bahrain. So we're not just here around Oman. We are also expanding our business to the Gulf country, and more coming, business is coming, inshallah. Okay, let's just go to the next, okay. Can we go back? And I'm also so much proud to say that now we are partner with Ministry of Transport, Communication and IT, so we can implement 5 different solutions in Oman. And as I said, we have to expand about the concept of smart cities, not just about one solution. It is different solutions in different cities around Oman, and we are planning to conduct in smart environment, non-revenue water management, and I'm going to speak more about this, smart street lighting solutions, and smart energy and water, which is the most popular projects that we have it. Okay, we also signed with BDO. Anyone here from BDO? Nobody, okay. Okay, great. Okay, and recently we have also signed with Madain. So we will try to provide different solutions. Why we need to do different solutions? If we succeed in proving that we are successful in this, we are going to expand so we can go to the different cities around Oman. And we need just, not just to be done just by us. We need everyone to adopt these smart solutions so we can overcome all the challenges that we have it. Okay, so let me give you a brief about our smart solution. I'm going to speak just about one of these solutions because of the time. Non-revenue water is one of the solutions that we have conducted in Al-Ansab. Al-Ansab is like a small area. I consider it in Muscat. Muscat is the capital, but Al-Ansab is just one area in Muscat. So we how many times you drive or walk and you can see floods of water? I'm sure most of you saw the leakage of the water in the surface. How many times you call the emergency, calling them to come so they can, fix this issue. It's really, hard to see that, the water is on the surface because this is, a natural, a wealth for all of us, and we need to save it. So we decided to have this POC. So we said we'll bring our own sensors, IoT sensors, so we can use it in one area in Al-Ansab. Okay, so you will be shocked to know, how we really did it. So this is, it can show you Al-Ansab. Okay, and then what we did, we have our sensors, and we try to have it in different places. Why? We wanted to predict where's the leakage. So we can, send some alarms to the emergency. There is a leakage in this place before it's coming to the service. So that was very successful. Imagine how much we have saved. What was, the amount we have saved? Can you imagine how much? It's around 100 million Omani Riyal per year. This is just for one area in Muscat. And this, by the way, is a global issue around the world. Everyone is losing a lot of money because of this issue. So if you are able to have this solution everywhere, because sometimes people, they say, okay, technology is really expensive or I'm not ready to pay for it. But we are going to calculate how much we are going to save. You will say, okay, I'm saving more than I'm really losing by investing in technology. So that was, how we really, implement this solution. And hopefully we can have it in more areas around Oman, inshallah. So, and we are going to have also another solution to implement in a DOCOM, because, as I said, we all deserve to live in a very clean weather. Because how many of you are, complaining? You say, I do not feel comfortable to live, for example, in Muscat or in Rusail because I feel there is pollution and so on. So it's mandatory. It should not be a luxury to have this smart solution. It should be mandatory in all our cities. So we can, see what is the number, the percentage of pollution or the humidity and the other parameters. And smart lighting, definitely we're going to need to have smart lighting in all our roads. We need to use the solar energy and the IoT sensors so we can read and predict, and also take decisions at the end, especially when it comes to the traffic, so we can take some decisions by our dashboards and using the AI. Smart waste bin management, and we have also another use cases that we are using with some of our, and definitely the safety. When I say the safety, I need to feel that I'm safe and secure in my city. How many of you said, I'm no more feeling safe and secure? So we need sometimes, these safety and security solutions so we can feel that we are going to live for a long time in these areas. And definitely we need the smart parking with, the increase of population and cars every day. One of our projects is, because I speak a lot about our projects and about our smart metering. If you want to be sustainable and successful in market, we are having our own IoT factory. It will be in resale, but before we starting with our own factory, we invested on our employees. We sent around 25 Omanis. They were fresh graduates. We sent them to Poland so they can know how they can, deal with these IoT sensors, how they can deal with the robots and so on. If you want really to expand in business, we should invest on our employees, especially the fresh graduates. Don't say, okay, they are graduates and they are going to learn. No, we have to invest more on them so they can come back to us. And that's what we have done so far with our employees. And now our employees are the one who are, dealing with this configuration, dealing with the dashboards and so on. And we are planning also to use the robots in our smart factory. The expected time to launch the factory will be, inshallah, next year, hopefully, as soon as we finalize, all the approvals from the government. And mostly we're gonna have, the smart energy meters. And last week we have signed also with our Sigemcom partner in France, so we can start with the manufacturing line to the factory. So this is some snapshots about the factory. It's going to be on sale. Hopefully we can take you soon in a tour to our factory by next year. And this is the warehouse that can, adapt some of our, smart metering, and it can accommodate around 150,000 per year. These are our champions. I'm so much proud of our champions, and they are, part of the NEC. They are leading the innovation in NEC. So we are going to expand to invest on them when it comes to the robots, because we started with the IoT, but now we need to expand when it comes to the smart manufacturing, because we need also to have the robots also. It's not just about the IoT. So whenever there's something smart in smart cities, we need to adapt it and invest it with our employees. And finally, okay, this is not mine. Okay, can I go to the final one? Okay, to the final one, Smart Innovation Hub. It's coming soon. If you want to be innovative in smart cities, we should always keep innovative. So Smart Innovation Hub is one of the new initiatives that we are going to launch soon. And usually I'm getting a hard question from the academia. Where is the data? We need to do some of our research and so on. So this is good news for all of you, because we have some POCs that we can use the data. We cannot use the data of the huge projects that we have it with our partners, but we have some POCs that we have some data on it. So we're gonna specify these projects for the academia so they can keep searching, because when it comes to the Smart Innovation Hub, it's not just about one pillar, as I say. It's about the government, the academia, the SMEs, the startups, and finally the individuals who are going to use our smart solutions. And thank you so much, and always keep innovative and be in touch. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for that, Laila. That was great to hear all about smart cities, something which will hopefully improve the lives for everyone. And great to hear that some of that data will be shared for research.